Hey everybody, welcome to Live Coding with Jesse. I'm Jesse, and today is my birthday. So this is my birthday stream. I'm 33 years old now, and my main camera stopped working, so that's why the angle's a little bit weird. So I switched to the camera on my secondary display. My good webcam is at my house. I didn't bring it in the office today, so I'm going to do my best to try to look at this camera when I can, but you're probably going to be seeing a lot of this side of my face just because of habit of normally looking here. So today, I think we're going to do a little bit of coding. We're going to do a little bit of question and answer. So I'd like to be done before 3 because I have a meeting at 3, and that's Eastern time. So I want to finish this up maybe in 50 minutes. That would be good. So we'll probably do about 25 minutes of coding and then the rest for question and answer. I'm going to assume we'll have a lot of questions since we normally do. If we don't, then I'll just keep on coding. And oh, let me give you an update on my job search. So it's been a while. Apologies for not streaming as much as I normally do. And you know what, I keep looking over to see the chat. I'm just going to move it over right under this camera so that I can see it and look at the same time. I see a lot of people saying happy birthday. Thank you so much. Wow, that's a lot of happy birthdays. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So here's what's up with my job search. I've gone on a lot of interviews now. I've done a lot of technical interviews and take-home coding challenges. I have received 4 job offers. So of the 4 offers, I'm considering 3 of the 4 right now. One of the 4 is a little bit low, so it kind of declined it, and so that basically there's 3 offers still in the running. But the really, really exciting news, I mean, I'm excited about all the offers, but the news that I didn't think I'd be able to share is that I made it to the next round of interviews with Google. So I took the over-the-phone technical interview. I passed it, and now I'm going to go in for 5 in-person technical interviews at Mountain View, at their headquarters. So I'm so excited. I've been studying a lot now, and I'm going to keep studying. It looks like I might be out there this Thursday, so it's not for sure yet, but I think Thursday will be the day. So that gives me a couple more days to get ready. And then there's one other job that I'm still in the interview process for, so I need to finish. Actually, I didn't think I'd have enough time. I'd kind of given up on that because I thought this interview process is going to take too long. I'm going to have to get back to these other companies, but I think it's going to work out that I might be able to get through that process. So there's potentially 2 more companies, so maybe 2 more offers, but I have to get through the process. So I plan on making a video of that and putting it on my YouTube channel. The link to my channel is in the description, and I'm going to summarize this whole process and explain what the interviews were like and how I make my final decision. So that'll come out after the whole process, which is taking even longer than I thought, but definitely in a good way. Also, if you want updates on my interview process, I've been putting some updates on Twitter, so my Twitter link's in the description as well, but I've been doing a lot of video updates on my Instagram stories. So if you're on Instagram and you want to get those updates, check out my Instagram. I believe I have info about it in the description of this video. So I have all my stories saved on my profile under job interviews or something like that, so you can kind of catch the backlog of everything. Okay, enough updates. I want to make sure you actually get some coding and question and answer stuff. So if you have questions about that process, let me know, but I will go over it in more depth at some point. So hopefully I'll cover everything. If I see a lot of people are interested in one certain part, maybe I'll spend more time on that part. Okay, let me I'm going to move the chat off the window for a second and then get the code up here and then switch over. Where are we at? Okay. Here's the code. You can find a link to this GitHub repository in the description, and you can also find the link to the live version of this site in the description as well. So we have basically a demo live version of this site, and right now, first thing I want to do, and the first thing we should always do when we're starting up a project that we're using Git to track, is we want to do a Git Pull. I need the power went out yesterday, I think, and so my computer restarted. So bear with me 1 second here while I get my SSH passphrase in here. Okay, cool. So that worked. Let's see what happened. We got a bunch of new branches from Greenkeeper, which lets us know when a new package, a new version of a package we're using has come out. So we got a lot of updates to do at some point. We're not going to do the updates right now on the stream, though. Also, if you don't want to have to keep typing in your SSH password or key or whatever, you can do SSH add, and then paste in your key, and then now you won't need to do it again for as long as your computer is on. Okay. Alright, so now that that's taken care of, I think, okay, I'm in sync now. It looked like I was out of sync with the video a little bit. Apologies, I know that's kind of annoying. Okay, so now we're in sync. Let's start up our dev server. Is it started? I gotta double check. Dev. Yarn dev. Some projects it's set up to be start, and some projects it's dev. Okay, so we should be ready on localhost. Let's start a Pomodoro timer, and let's get localhost 3000 running. Okay, I'm not going to start the ngrok server right now, which I'd normally do. So if you want to see the site, just check it out on the link in the description. I'm not going to start it just because we have a tight schedule at this point. And there we go. We have our rotating pictures now. So this one happens to be the university president, Father Sean. So we've done a bit on the homepage. I don't remember if you all have seen some of these updates, but we've had a few updates here. But the page we're going to work on today is admissions. Let's see what it looks like now. Okay, not so great right now, right? Yeah. So I recently found out that the people in admissions were not happy about how this page looks. And to be honest with you, I can't blame them, right? This page doesn't look great. We essentially put all the relevant admissions information on the front page and then link directly to the programs. Okay, so although we got we did get all the information and where we wanted it to be optimal for people to actually click on, we didn't quite finish this. But the good news is we already have a test page that makes this look a lot better. So my next step here is going to be to go to GitHub and check out the history for that file, because I don't think we made a separate branch for that, which we probably should have. I think we, on the master branch, changed it and then reverted it back because it wasn't quite finished before launch, and it was almost the same as the homepage at the time. So we made a decision to revert it back and then work on it. But now things have changed on the homepage, so I think we can just use that same format, make it the admissions page, and it should work great. I see some activity there in the chat. I will definitely get to read your comments and your questions here as soon as the Pomodoro timer is up, which will be... Why am I so far over here? Okay. Well, I still got 23 minutes. Alright, so let's go to Franciscan React. And the link to this is in the description if you want to check it out. And so I want to go to our Pages folder. We're using Next.js, so our Pages folder, our actual routes. We do have some custom routes happening here, so we're kind of overriding a lot of the default behavior of Next.js, but just a little explanation for what this Pages folder does. And where are we at? Admissions.js. Okay, so for our admissions, ooh. Hey, we still have this page. Yes. Okay, cool. I don't have to copy and paste anything. Now I remember what we did. Okay, let's check out. Here's our server.js file. Let's find admissions. Let's see. Okay, so admissions, our default we set to page, right? And so it's pulling in the data that's currently in WordPress for this page. But what we can do is set this to admissions, right? So this is that custom routing that's overriding the default behavior that I was just talking about. So now we're saying if you go to admissions and it's the default, meaning it's just the bare admissions with no slash something else at the end in terms of the URL, then we're just going to have it render this page admissions. Okay, so let's save that. We see we're running NodeMon, so it automatically restarts our server when our files change. So now it'll reload, and here we go. Here's our admissions page. So we start out with this hero section. All right, we have an image there. We could make this image change like the homepage image does. We could do some different stuff with it, basically. So but we have the basic structure here. Now we have it set up. Okay, yeah, now I see why we didn't make this live, because while it looks nicer, it's definitely lacking some information. I remember now. This was a while ago. I remember not having discussions about what exactly should be on this page and not really coming to a conclusion. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. To evangelize, to send forward, alright, we definitely... Let's take these out and move them to the bottom of the home page. And let's move in some more admissions-specific data into this section. Okay? Alright, so we'll go back here and we're going to put on one side, we'll put the admissions page. On the other side of the screen, we'll put the home page, since we're going to be copy and pasting quite a bit. Both those pages share the same basic layout, so we should be able to just swap in pieces and components and they should work. If you're interested in how we got to this point in the project, this is video 102 of the series. So you can check out the entire Project 5 playlist on this channel, on the FreeCodeCamp channel. It's quite a lot, so I recommend you just skip around and watch the pieces that really interest you. But you can, if you're interested in a certain part, you can definitely get more info. And I'm going to get rid of some of these. All right, here's our home page. I'll move this over here for now. And I'm going to get rid of some of these just to make things a bit easier. And here's our admissions.js. Great. Let's get as much space as we can in here. Okay, so our home page is here. And I said I'm going to scroll. We're going to go all the way to the bottom. And we have this section here. That's just, we're using Material UI as our UI framework, and we have this built-in grid component that lets us do some nice things with the layout. So within this grid, we have our components. So actually we have a larger section here, and we're using the grid inside it. But this is our cost and financial aid section. And for right now, I think I'm going to throw in, I'm just going to throw in some of these profiles. Let's make sure I get all of them. Yeah, okay, so this whole grid here is what we need. Oops, I went a bit too far. Section. Okay, here we go. So let me copy this. Just completely get rid of it. There we are. And move it over here. So this is section. Yeah, let's do it after this. It's named sections with 2 divs. Div. Okay. Let's see how that looks on the home page here. Oops, and we need to import our profile cards. That's why we're getting this little red thing here. So up here, let's just copy and paste this, make it a little faster. But instead of text section, and these are custom components that we built throughout the course of this project. Profile card. Okay. Oops. Did it automatically add that for me? I guess it did. Oh well. I forgot that I had that package. So evidently I have a package that automatically adds imports whenever I add these components. So that's pretty cool. Alright, let's just check really quickly to make sure this didn't totally mess up the home page, and then we'll go back to this admissions page. Okay, cool. Didn't mess it up. It looks alright there. I'm okay with that. For now, I would definitely not want the same student repeated over and over again, but I'll fix that at a different time. Now let's go to that admissions page. And actually, oh, you know what? I didn't save that. That's what. I was wondering why those are still there. Okay, so I didn't save it. Now we've kind of cut this down. Okay, and we have this text of our mission stuff on the home page. So let's actually, you know what? Let's open this twice, so that we can see what on the home page might be good to move over and perhaps modify for this other page. So we have this mission stuff, so we'll probably take that out. But let's see. I think we definitely want this cost and financial aid section for sure. Degree. Okay. Yeah, let's do the cost and financial aid. We'll take that whole section and just copy it. So we'll copy that over. If people are going to the admissions page, they're interested in how much it's going to cost, right? So we'll put it down at the bottom. So let's go back over here and copy it. There we go. Okay, so we have. Did I go too far? I did. I went too far. Alright, here's where our new stuff ended. So let's start with this div. Go all the way up and get this section here. We may have to bring over some classes. We'll see if we have these classes already. And, oh, what do we have here? We had some content here that we ended up taking out. Looks like it. I'll have to check that out later. Alright, so after this grid section in admissions, we're going to put this inverted button. Oh, we need inverted button typography. Let's see if it automatically pops up. Let's take out profile card now too, since we didn't need it. Oh, it's not going to do it automatically now? Oh, okay. I guess I'll have to do it. Or I can just copy it from here. Inverted button, and I don't remember what the other one was. Typography, that was it. Typography. Okay, so inverted button is a component that we made, which is based on the button component from Material UI. Actually, Material UI has their own kind of like inverted button. I don't know if they call it that, but you'll see what it looks like in a second. So newer versions of Material UI have their own. Since we already had this made and customized exactly how we wanted, I've continued to use it. But if you're using the latest version, you will have that option just on your regular button component. Typography comes built in Material UI. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Oh yeah, we definitely need to bring in some of the classes. So let's do that now. Let's just check what classes we have going on here. So it looks like section, inner container, section text, hero button, inverted button. Alright, so let's see what we can pull over in terms of classes. And let's compare here. Let's see. Section. Do we have that? Nope. Okay. So let's go with section, inner container, section text, hero button, inverted button. Yeah, all of these down here. So we're copying a lot. Probably not the best way to deal with that. All right, but first thing is get it working, right? Then we can make it better. Okay. So let's see if those styles will fix it. Yep, and that fixed it. So here now we have our cost and financial aid, and this is what I'm talking about with that, what I call an inverted button. I don't remember exactly where I first heard that term, but I'm pretty sure I didn't make it up. I think I saw it listed as an inverted button somewhere. So basically you just have an outline. Usually I have a hover effect on these so that when you mouse in, the background actually would go, in this case it would go like green, and then this text would go to white. So I'm not sure why I did it like this for this one without the hover. Okay. Alright, so there we are. We have that section now. So I'm going to check my time, about 10 minutes. Okay, so we have about 10 minutes, and I think in terms of bringing stuff from the home page, there's not really much else that I do want to bring. What I think we ought to do now, though, is check out the old site to see what was on there. I think it has pretty much the same content that we saw at the very beginning before we changed our router. You can see that the old site's very slow. I'm on a really fast connection and it's still so slow. I think this is really happening. Oh, you know what? I bet it won't even work because for some reason on campus you have to put the www in. Off campus you can do it without it. It's weird. Still really slow though. Whew. Okay. Alright. Wow. That was so slow. Okay. Hey, I know her. She's really nice. Let's see. See, like, part of the reason why I didn't bring over a lot of the existing pictures on this site is that they're really old. Like, she graduated. Oh, it's been a while. I mean, I think she graduated before I started working here. So I started working here over 3 years ago. So this photo is probably at least 5 years old. Alright, so here's the only difference as to what we have on this page. Content-wise, we basically have all this content, right? We had these lists before. What we got rid of were some of these old pictures. This is actually my boss. This picture of my boss there. He's a good guy. He's also a good guy. I know him. I know his professor. I've been to his house. He's pretty cool. Okay. This page is just a bunch of links. So I don't know that we really want to try to copy this page because, I mean, do we need a bunch of links? I don't think so. Let me know in the chat. I mean, should we salvage anything from this page? I mean, we could certainly add some of these videos, but again, these videos are very old, so I might add something in just as a placeholder and then maybe see if we can find a newer video. I mean, I could see maybe for admissions, this video may be, Discover Truth, Franciscan University. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much a general advertising video for the university. This Austria program is a little specific, but from what I hear, it is a big bonus for students. Students really like it. I'm hesitant to put up a video about the science programs, though, because that's very selective for just one group. Same way with theology stuff. These two videos are more general, so I think those would be okay. And honestly, I think this set of videos appears on multiple pages, so I don't think this was ever meant to be specific to this page anyway. Okay, so basically we have apply buttons. These all take people to the same place anyway. Visit campus, which we already have that button, so just to show, like we have our apply, inquire, and visit buttons, which are the most important things really on the whole site that we want users to do. So we have that. We have a link to our cost calculator. We have links to our majors, our institutes, chapel stuff. Yeah, in terms of information, like bringing over information from here, that's the most important stuff. So at this point, I don't think I'm going to bring any of these other things over unless, there's something that basically I'm not worried that much about content. Like that's not my thing. I'm worried about building this out. So I'm not gonna fuss about the content anymore. We could grab some of this text. What is this linking to? All right, this listens to online learning. We could take some of this text and use it. Yeah, we could definitely do that. All right, let's do that. Let's make a text section here, and then I think I'd love to have this quote up here, but then I'd need something else for there. So I'm gonna leave it alone for right now. And let's add a text section up here. We don't really have anything already made, so instead of copying and pasting, let's do as much as we can in the 3 minutes that we have left. So what I'm looking to do here is get this grid. So this is already a grid that has 3 columns, which is what I want. So let's grab this. Let's grab this grid and then just kind of take out everything that's in it and add in some text. Okay, so in our text, we have our sections, our grid stuff. Yeah, alright, let's get rid of this and instead we're going to put this typography element in there, and that's what we're going to put. That's where we're going to put our text content in there. By default, the typography will just go to a paragraph tag. So that's what it'll render to. So that should be fine for now. We'll see how it looks. But when we do it in typography, all of our styles, the material design type styles, should should work. They should just be there. Okay. So we're not going to copy the read more tags. I'm just going to copy the text for now. And what this should give us is on large screens, oops. On large screens, they'll have 3 columns. But on a small screen, they'll stack, so it'll just be 1 column. Is the majority, our target audience is teenagers. Our primary target audience is teenagers, so they're most likely going to be using a mobile device to look at this, so we always want to keep that in mind first. Alright, whoa! Alright, something's off about this. We definitely don't, maybe we're overriding something. What just happened? Did I forget? Alright, let's see what these classes are doing for our list grid item. I may have to take that class off of them. Okay, it's taking out some padding. You know what, let's take out all of the custom classes. Yeah, this class name here I do not want, because that's probably, the lack of padding is probably not helping. And then I don't know what content container is doing. We'll check that. First, we'll see if this did anything. Did we get a refresh? That did not do anything. So let's check on what content container is doing here. With next with Let's check it out in DevTools. Well, let's check. Oh, my timer went off. I did not hear that go off. Since I already have this up, let's check out this div is our grid. Why is this div not giving us any margin or padding? What do we have? Flex grow. Alright, well, I will figure that out at some other time. We can check it out how it looks on mobile. Oh yeah, it doesn't look good because there's no space. I'd want some sort of spacing. Also, this font size is too small. I want that to be bigger. So basically, what I would do here, what I would do up here is maybe I could possibly use the same image. I don't know. We'll see. For now, I'll leave that image in there. I would change these, obviously, to make some padding, make the font size larger, switch this out for something more admissions related. And then the only other thing I might think about doing is adding in some videos. I think some videos would be good. Yeah. And then this page, I think, would be good to go live. It's already definitely a large improvement over the other page. So in that sense, it could potentially go live and still be better than the current page. But for me to be really comfortable with it, I would make the changes that I just talked about first. But let me check my time. Okay. Let's commit this. So we're going to do a git add. We're at everything. We can do a git status again to make sure. See, now we have all this in green. This stuff is ready to be committed. So we're going to run yarn cm because we have it set up that like a custom little command line program to help us craft a really good commit message. So we're going to say we added a new feature, and let's write a short imperative tense description of the change. So we're going to say add, let's see, we'll say add profiles to homepage and content to admissions. Alright, I'm not going to do a long description right now. Sometimes that's good if what you changed is a bit more complex. Probably want to enter a description of it. We do not have breaking changes, so no is the default, so we'll just hit enter. And this does not affect open issues. As far as I know, we do not have an issue for that. So I'm just going to hit enter because the default is no. Now it's going to run through our tests, our unit tests, our end-to-end tests. To be entirely honest, we don't have great test coverage right now. So I don't think anything that we've done actually would affect anything that's being tested right now. We did have tests on the homepage, but it changed so frequently that the tests were just kind of getting annoying because they would fail every time and we'd have to recreate the test. Okay, everything worked, so now we'll just do a git push, and that will push it to GitHub. So now everything that I've done here will be available for you to check out on the GitHub page that's linked in the description. Now, I'm going to flip back over to the full screen so that I can pull over all the chat and just kind of check it out without... The reason I don't like to show the chat is in case someone types something inappropriate in the chat, I don't want it to be on the stream right away. I could block it, and then hopefully like it won't be visible in the chat, even in the replay. I think that's how it works. Okay, I'm going to try my best to keep an eye on the clock. Let me move my phone over. Actually, I got the new Pixel XL3, so it just came in. Kind of excited about that. Okay. I'm starting way up at the top. I'm going to answer as much as I possibly can. Okay. I was just double checking to make sure everything was still going good with the stream status. Does ReactJS help over normal JS while making projects in Express? Yeah, Express is really a back-end thing. So React. I think React is easier for a lot of types of projects than normal JS, or vanilla JS, as some people say. So it doesn't matter whether you're using Express or not. I think it does help. Okay, there are certain very basic projects that were probably easier in vanilla JS. I guess it just kind of depends on your project. Mohit says, is it wise to go from Vue to React? Is there anybody here who has tried a taste of both? I have not used Vue, so I'm probably not in a good position to answer that question. All right. Lots of happy birthdays. Thank you, thank you. Someone asked if I'm a Scorpio. Yes, I am a Scorpio. I don't really know what that means in terms of what I'm like. I don't really go in for astrology that much, so I'm not really sure whether being a Scorpio is a good or a bad thing. Lawrence says, happy birthday. You look 30 years, though. Cool. Well, since I'm 33, looking 30 is good, I guess. Hey, Steven says, what's up? What's up, Steven? Shriram says, what's the Google process for front-end interviews? So I'm assuming the process I've gone through is pretty standard. So what you'll do normally, so I got contacted by a recruiter, so my process was slightly different. So I didn't go through the normal you apply process. Like I talked to the recruiter, we already lined everything up, and then I went to a different, I went to a different link to apply. And then I also had someone referring me within Google. So I had to enter their information as well. So it was slightly different. But the first step is, well, the first step for me was talking with the recruiter. If I had just applied, I don't know if there'd be another first step where I just talk to somebody. But anyway, the real first test was this over-the-phone technical interview. So I had to code in a Google Doc and talk while I was coding, kind of like I do on my show, to the person who was interviewing me. It won't really do any good for me to say what the question was because every interviewer will ask different questions. So the best thing is just to study for a lot of stuff. And then after that, the next step is to actually go in person to a Google location where you will have, in my case, it's going to be 5 interviews that are all 45 minutes long in person, where each person will ask me a question. So 5 different interviewers will ask a question, and I will have to, most likely on a whiteboard, write out the answer to those questions. Lauren says, happy birthday from London. Cool. Actually, I'll be in London next week. I'm going to be at the DocFest conference in Munich, but on my way back from DocFest, I'm going to have really long layovers in Iceland, London, and Dublin. So if I know anybody in any of those places, let me know. I'll be in Iceland for the longest period of time, so like 22 hours. I'll only have a few hours to do anything in London or Dublin, but I'd like to at least see a little bit of those places before I fly back. Alright, SGK asked for a quick rundown of the project. It's about what you're using at React. I don't really have time to give a good rundown right now. I'll give the very, very quickest thing. It's a React project, and we're using headless WordPress for the back end. We're grabbing the data with GraphQL. We're using Apollo with React to help us out with that, and we have a custom server using Express and Node.js. I mean, that's what the project is technologically. In terms of what the project does, it is a website for a small university. And yes, it probably is overkill for a website for a small university, but why not do great work when we can? So let's see. Shriram says, "What's the goal of this session?" The channel has a lot of different videos. For my videos, my live streams, the goal is just for you all to see me doing my normal work as a developer. Messing up, trying to recover from those mistakes, and then, I just want to try to be as honest as possible about what my work is like. Mohan asks if I'm using ES6. Yeah, we're using some ES6 stuff in here. We had a request for translations into Arabic. I do not know Arabic, so I can't translate. But if anybody is interested in translating my live streams into any language, that would be awesome. I'm sure that Quincy, who's in charge of freeCodeCamp, would welcome some good translations. Oh, cool. Steven says, inverted buttons are kind of like a logo. In a style guide, you have the regular logo and the inverted logo, right? Buttons are kind of the same way. You have your primary, secondary button, and then inverted button. Airbnb has it. Okay, so cool. So it is a thing. So, like I thought, I didn't make the word up. It is really a thing to have inverted buttons. Okay. Steven says, the problem with updating is this. Colleges really need to update all videos, images, etc. every 4 years. Unless you can link that person to some kind of alumni group, it's out of date. Yeah, for sure. And that's one of the main reasons why I decided to start with a clean slate and not bring over any of the old videos or images, for the most part, was because I knew if we brought them over, people would still just be okay with it, right? But if I brought them over and they look at a page that's all text, then they'll immediately say, where are the images at? And people did that. Some people freaked out and were like, why aren't there any images or videos? Well, that was the point. The point was we can't just be lazy about this and be satisfied with 5, 6-year-old videos, you know, possibly even older, and images. We need to get new stuff in here. And I knew it would speed up that process. So I still stand by that. I think that's absolutely necessary. We're not going to start a brand new website with old stuff. Jenya asks about my Visual Studio theme. I think I have it in the description. So it's the Seti theme, but check the description for details, more details on the theme. Steven says, your lack of padding is quite disturbing. Said in my best Darth Vader voice. That's awesome. Nissar says, join late. I maybe missed, but my question is React changes a lot in lifecycle and get back to function components. So my question, is there any issue with that for this project? In terms of the changes in the lifecycle methods, no, I don't think we have any issues with this project. In case you're not sure what Nissar is referring to, with some of the newest versions of React, they had to make changes with the lifecycle methods because there were some async issues, and they're getting ready to have the Suspense API come out. So they need to fix those issues first. So some of the lifecycle methods, they're saying you shouldn't use them anymore. Some of them are changing. So just be aware of that if you have some older React projects. You may need to change some lifecycle methods. Maybe you want to hold off on updating React until you figure out exactly how it will affect your project. SGK asks if I was using GraphQL in this project. I am. Carl asked about the job hunting. Carl, go back and watch the beginning of the video. I would normally repeat it, but I have to end the video really soon. So check out the beginning of the video. I let everybody know about the job hunt. And again, if you want to stay more up to date on the job hunt, I give the most updates on my Instagram. I also put some updates on Twitter, and I will put a video update, a video summary of this entire process on my YouTube channel, which is linked in the description, after I make my final decision. Let's see. Umberto says, for someone who's interested in going into web development as a career, what technologies would you most recommend learning? So web development, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. For sure, start with those. All right, and that it should take you a while to get good with JavaScript. If you want to jump into some sort of JavaScript library or framework, React's very popular right now. Angular is also popular. Vue is a lot of people like Vue. If you would like to get into some back-end stuff as well, you can use Node.js. That would probably be the easiest thing to get into if you're already using JavaScript on the front end. If you have some specific area you want to go into, like let's say you want to be a WordPress developer, then you should learn PHP. So just kind of check out what you like and what you want to do. Definitely learn how to use APIs. GraphQL is great, but there's not a lot of people using GraphQL, so you'll need to learn about REST APIs as well. So that's just a very quick overview. Afterclap asks, what front-end languages are there? How many? JavaScript is the front-end language. So that's the, I know like with WebAssembly you can use other stuff, but like basically in terms of what's used 99% of the time, JavaScript. Uso says, do you think Python is an okay first language to take up programming as a hobby? Oh yeah, for sure. I would say as a first language, I would recommend either JavaScript or Python. If you're not really interested in the front end, then Python is wonderful. If you do want to do front end stuff, JavaScript might be a little bit better because you can't really use Python on the front end, you know, by natively in the browser. Musa says, I really want to do something in programming, but I don't have any time at all because I've just started medical school this year. Yeah, that's going to be tough. My advice to you would be maybe try to do just a little bit every day. If you could even do a half an hour every day, at least it would keep your mind on it. You know, maybe start out with some freeCodeCamp stuff. Just work on freeCodeCamp's curriculum half hour every day. Even if it's 15 minutes every day, it's still better than nothing. Jesse, you're amazing. Hi from your Russian fans. Hey, how's it going? I was so close to being able to come to Russia for a conference. I was almost picked. I talked to the organizers, did like an interview thing, and so I was a little bit bummed. I was going to be coming. I was hoping I'd be in Russia at the end of November, but it's not going to happen now. Maybe someday. I'll apply for the conference next year. Hugo says, hey, I'm new to React and I would like to know what is the proper way of navigating through different layouts. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by navigating through different layouts. So maybe, you know what, I won't really have time to answer that. So if you can message me on Twitter or put a comment to this video, maybe I can answer that question. Okay, it looks like there are some answers in the chat already, so thank you for that. Christian says, "What's best, Python or JavaScript?" I think I just answered that before. I'm not going to say one language is better than the other, but it just depends on what you're trying to use them for. Mario says, "Are you moving to Angular?" No, I'm not moving to Angular. For most of my job offers, I'll still be working with React. Obviously, for the Google one, probably not, but for all the other ones, it's React. And for some of the offers, I'd actually get to keep doing my stream with my work, so that's a big plus. Oh, all right. Steven has a call, and that's your interview. Awesome. Yeah, for sure. Let me know on Twitter what happens. Musa says, thank you. You're welcome. Okay, and I have a meeting in 4 minutes, so I'm going to wrap up the stream. Sorry the question and answer was so rushed and quick. Hopefully I'll be able to do another stream, but I might be traveling. Hopefully I'll be traveling out to Google headquarters sometime later in the week, and then next week I will be in Europe, a couple of days in Germany, a day in Iceland, half a day in Dublin, half a day in London. So if you're in any of those places, let me know. I'd be really interested in like getting some coffee together or hanging out or something. So if you want to get in touch with me, my Instagram info and my Twitter info are in the description of this video. If you want to see more of my videos, check out all the playlists here on freeCodeCamp for live coding with Jesse, or you can check out my YouTube video. It's linked in the description. So thank you all so much for watching and for hanging out with me in the live chat. I'll see you next time.